Hi guys, my name's Michelle. This is my channel, Guided Metanoia. I am new to YouTube, so I hope that you guys will subscribe, like, share my videos. I'd like to help you in your process of self-transformation. That's why I created the channel, and that's why I do what I do. I'm a certified holistic life coach. I have been reading tarot since I was 13, and I have also studied and researched astrology for the past like 5 to 7 years. Those first 2 years were kind of in and out, so I don't know that I necessarily count them, but definitely for the past 5 years for sure. I do study the transits for traditional Western astrology and do a lot of theory and sort of research on Vedic astrology. And I put together the channel because I have all these various skills. By trade, I'm a singer. As a little girl, I started singing, oh my gosh, when I was very, very young. And that's my first and foremost passion. Now I'm a jazz and blues singer, but I just really love to sing anything, really. And that's what I studied throughout school. And when I graduated, I kind of hit just this really big wall, and it forced me to go into my own period of self-discovery and reinventing my concept of self, and really asked me to step into my own sense of spirituality, which was not something that I had ever explored before. And I didn't have a community of people or even friends that were into those things. So it was a very isolating experience, and I just continued to focus on the things that I loved. But that period of growth was very difficult, and I am bringing all of my skills together into YouTube because I want to help other people who are going through the same process and the same sense of self-transformation. I think that we'll go through that sense of transformation all throughout our lives. But if you're in a particular place where you need that outside, is it really outside wisdom? Because we're all connected. And so I think it's divine wisdom, if you will. And so I put together this channel that will accumulate all of my skills. I don't know if I mentioned that I'm a certified holistic life coach, but if I did, I'm sorry. But I tried to take, well, it's not that I try to take, but I take a very coach-like approach to my reading. I'm going to adjust this camera. No, sorry, I thought my lipstick was weird, sorry. As you can tell, I'm not used to kind of being in front of the camera, so I probably seem like a little quirky and a little weird. Okay, this reading is for Gemini. Because I've never done a YouTube channel before, I'm not entirely certain like what I'm in for, but I have followed a lot of other readers for a very long time, and it's something that I feel very drawn and called to do. And so I am going to be utilizing a lot of my life coaching techniques and skills through my tarot readings, and then I also keep sort of astrology in the background because it's definitely at play. And the more that you learn about astrology, the more you begin to really see how much at play we're talking about. But I try not to draw in too much astrology because I don't want the astrology to be like a self-fulfilling prophecy. These concepts that I call to being real through your tarot, but they definitely, those energies are at play, and certain cards will speak to that and other cards may not. So this reading is for Gemini, and I love me some Gemini. All my best friends throughout my life have always been Geminis, and I think they're just fantastic people. They, you have to know how to share a Gemini, because they're such personable people. And they have so many friends, and it's like you can't be that person who wants to be like the best friend of the Gemini, because like Geminis have best friends for like, tell me if I'm wrong about this. I'm so sorry if it seems like I'm reading you guys, but Geminis have like best friends for different things. Like I have my best I have my best friend that I go to hang out with one-on-one, and that, like, when I'm in a deep place, like, I have my best friend for that. And then they have best friends that are like that person that I go out with and party with. And then they have that best friend that's like always down for some kind of adventure. They have like multiple best friends in like different spheres and arenas. And it's fantastic because it's such a good model is what it really is, because it's really hard to have that one best friend that you want to like invest everything and anything in. It's a lot for somebody to handle. But going with bringing multiple people into your social circle and utilizing your genuine connection with others in a way that facilitates both of your happiness in a genuine and authentic way, I think it's just a beautiful model, and I can appreciate it. My sign is Libra. My sun is in Libra in traditional Western astrology, but in Vedic astrology, I would be a Virgo. My moon is in Cancer. Wow, your cards is just starting to come out. And again, the shift is in my rising sign as well. So I have a rising sign that's in Pisces, and I have that shift in Vedic astrology makes my rising in Aquarius. Gosh, okay. So anyway, I put together the channel, and I want to help other people through their own processes of self-transformation. And so I will be using a little bit of a lot of things throughout the reading. And I guess I'd probably kick it off like with some astrology. Sorry. Because I know that at the beginning of the month, I think Mercury and the Sun are transiting through your first house. So spotlight's on you. Look good, feel good, speak good. A lot of communication. I mean, you're going to be sought out. Then you have Mars and the North Node in your second house, which is going to be taking a lot of action in towards your goals, for a lack of a better word. I'm going to put these down for a little bit. So the North Node in your second house is really going to be about your self-worth. It's going to be about how you value you, and that energy that the Sun is bringing in to your essence of communication is really going to encourage you to start asking for what you want, very specifically, as if you haven't already. But that Mars, there's something about the pursuit of what you are worth that is coming into play. And I know that pretty much, I mean, Virgos are Leos, Virgos, Libras are clear. Scorpios are a little bit clear right now. And what I mean by clear is just that there's no real planetary thing. There's no planets moving through those houses, through those signs at this particular time. But then we've got Jupiter in Sagittarius, and there is obviously the I want to use the word reflux, and I don't think that's like an appropriate word, but okay. This sort of reflux or rebounding effect on the opposite spectrum of what's happening in your second house. And let me see. So in your house of relationships, that is where Jupiter is going retrograde. And that is probably a really good time to sort of reflect on any changes that are being made. If you're beginning to see how that internal sense of worth may be manifesting in your relationships. And then in your 8th house is really where you guys are just sort of just sinking your teeth into probably depths of you that you have never experienced in your life before. And thankfully it's not a long transit, but it is, there are energies that are going to be there for, if and around 2 years. I forget how long it takes for Pluto to move in and through a sign, but there are some deep underlying things that are happening, and it's definitely about how you value you. And let's see what happens in the cards. I don't want to take too much time to go through that. So let's see. You'll have to forgive me because I don't have multiple cameras and stuff. And so this is all really new. And so, you know, be kind in your judgment, because I do also know y'all can say what can hurt sometimes. Okay. I feel like you guys are definitely resisting the energies that are coming up in that 8th house, because 8th house is represented by the Scorpio, and Scorpio also rules the death card. So I completely get it. I totally get it. The information that is being revealed to you about you has got to be soul shaking, soul crushing, painful, but please don't resist it. Please don't do that, because you're going to just prolong this sense of pain. And I don't necessarily know that it's worth it, because just on the other side of that pain is something beautiful looking to be born. And I think it's because you guys, you know, the very next card is the Devil in reverse. Either you guys don't want to give up certain things that you are just way attached to and have been for a very long time. Justifiably so. May I say that? But if you don't do this, you will be stifling your progress. And I almost want to tell you, it's purely just a matter of time before you get rid of these things. But there's something about, and I mean, the devil does speak to you beginning to let go of certain vices, certain self-sabotaging behaviors. It speaks to, gosh, the sins of the self, really. And I say sins as in actions that have missed their mark in more ways than one. And but so I see you coming out of it. I do see you releasing some things, but I don't necessarily get the kind of momentum that can really come. And it is possible that's because Saturn and Pluto are going to be in retrograde. So it's like you're still revolving around these energies, but like nothing is really shifting. And if that is the case for you guys, you know, hang in there. It's tough. It's deep work, but it's incredibly rewarding. And there is something freeing, and there is something very initiating about what is happening for you. I do know that 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th house, hopes, wishes, community groups. You may feel yourself being immersed in that particular direction, wanting to fulfill your hopes and dreams, because Chiron's in Aries, which is your 11th house. But that Page of Wands it is an initiating energy that comes with it. It is possible that a fire sign could be stepping in to offer you some new, cool, fun project or group to participate in. But it is also the way that I really do see this card is it's like you're like, okay, you know what? I got things to do. I'm gonna start making stuff happen. It's like you want to put this productive energy somewhere, and so you will. And these three beautiful flowers kind of speak to pentacles, and in this sense, you're going to be well received for what you pursue. And then we have Temperance in reverse, and again, speaking to like this raw, open, healing type thing. It's not quite the severity of the fresh broken wound. It's not like that. It's like it's if it's scabbed open and it like you're picking at it. Sorry to be like a little bit graphic. That's kind of like this theme that I sort of get between the Death card reverse, the Devil reverse, and now the Temperance in reverse. It's like believe me, things are working towards an ending. You are giving up the things that really do not serve your greater purpose. And there is a healing that's coming about. I just want to make sure that you know that that is what is happening. And to see you as the fox, this like quick, energetic, do my thing type action. I really admire your energy and your zest, because 8th house is a heavy house. There's just no other way to say it. And you may be seeing yourself in a way that you haven't before. And it may be a little unmotivating, but I see you still trying in spite of it. And if it's shaking your sense of confidence, just know that it's intended to be that way. It's divinely intended to be that way, but it's not permanent. It's not permanent. And I wish that you could see that. Also, if you're not meditating and you're not going within, you need to be doing that in this particular time. You need to understand the levels of healing that are occurring within you. There are things that are being ripped and that you didn't even know were there. And that can feel very painful. Yeah. I have to be honest with you guys. Sorry. I already filmed an introduction video just to get used to the equipment and like the lighting. And then I did one pre-run with Gemini, and I have to tell you, all the cards are different. All the cards are different. My approach to the video is different. And the vibe that I'm getting from these cards is much more serious. And so I'm getting this sensation that, like, the sun is in your house and you want to go out, you want to party, you want to have fun, you want to like do your thing. Like, it's your fucking seats. Sorry. I don't think I'm allowed to curse on YouTube. Sorry. It's your season and you want to be involved with it. And it's like, there are some really heavy things that are going on underneath the surface. And maybe you need to try to detach from some of it. Maybe that's a good idea for you for right now, and just focus on your external pursuits. I see that in the cards for you. And I just want you guys to know that you are divinely supported through this particular time, and that some of the worst and shattering moments have also brought about the most monumental beginnings. And so I just want to remind you that with every ending comes a new beginning, and to try to keep that in mind, because I know that Saturn and Pluto, they're heavy hitters. Okay. So let's get back to your reading. So we've got Justice in reverse. If you are dealing with a Libra, this particular person is not in their element right now, but there's also this sense of unfairness. Like, why is this happening to me? Why does it have to be so hard? Why does it have to be so heavy? But I want to tell you that this is purely a matter of the perspective and the way in which you're thinking about it. If you're dealing with legal pursuits, things are, I think you perceive them as not going in your favor. And then there's always the matter of perspective, that because you perceive something as going in your favor now does not mean that in the bigger picture that it won't have weight in your favor. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I get when I see that card. And it's about this theme around the 8th house. So there's also this sense of evolution, but it's not the energy that I think you expected to still keep evolving, if that makes sense. But there's something about you not wanting to see this way of thinking, which I really do think a lot's to perspective, which is funny because you're Geminis, and like the ability to have this uncanny and fast-paced and multiple. I just realized there's a cat in my office. It's my cat, don't worry. That would be crazy. It's like somebody else's cat, like, oh my gosh. There must be a window open somewhere. Okay, getting back to you guys. So then I have the Queen of Cups in reverse. You're sensitive, to say the least, at this particular time. And if you need to be away from other people so you don't hurt them or say things that you will later regret or project your pain onto other people, that's okay. And you should do that. But just be careful if there's a particular pattern of doing that, because it's also resting under the devil, which, sorry, you guys are going to hear my dogs. Okay. I am so sorry about that. Yes, my husband came home from work. Sorry. Okay, back to you. So this Queen of Cups, I think you're in a very emotionally raw place. And I think if you need to step away and take some time to do you, do that. You may even be a little bit, how do I say this without seeming like offensive? Like you're just, a little too overly self-conscientious at this particular point in time. And if that's the case, I would encourage you to start focusing on other people. And again, coming back to that initiation of action, go follow the things that you love to do. And the next card is the Chariot in reverse. I don't think you are connecting with your internal dialogue enough at this particular point in time. Your emotions are trying to speak to you, and they're trying to communicate very important messages. And I don't necessarily know that you're in a place that you're willing to hear them or receive them. I think you're very particular about funneling your energy in one particular way, but I want you to know that that is stifling what action you can take. Because you could very well turn this card around and experience what is happening inside of you, what your emotions are trying to tell you, and then be able to take forward fast action. And again, this is a card of Cancer, so this comes back to that second house of self-worth. This person who aligns with their truest self and then emerges into the world. So that energy is available to you. And I think it will come perhaps through the actions that you take. And Page of Swords in reverse. I don't know if it's like how do I say this? You're being a bitch right now. And I get it. I totally get it. But I want to remind you that people go through very, very heavy things all the time. And that you don't have to take it out on yourself, and you don't have to project those things out into the world either. I think that if you could meditate more, and I say that because I specifically am picking up on the purple in this card, there are some really important messages that need to come through to you. And if you are resonating with thoughts that don't allow that kind of information in, you are going to self-destruct. And it could be in the way that you speak to yourself. It could be in the way that you think. And just in general, I don't think that the world is perceiving you in this particular way, but I do think that your energy is lending itself in such a way that people are like, hey, you okay? Hey, what's going on? You seem like a little bit different. And I'm like tempted to be like, are you fighting with you? Is this like that Gemini thing where it's like, which twin is going to win kind of thing? But there's a sense of healing that is trying to emerge through it. And I think it's really all about this concept of like, can I have the things that I really want? am I really worthy of having all the things that I really want? And I want to tell you that you absolutely are. But if you don't think that you are, you won't. And you will push things away, and you will force others out, and you will hurt yourself, and you'll hurt others in the process. And when this is what's available to you, the 10 of Pentacles, it's when your external world is displaying all of the internal worth that you have. So this is available to you. Any of the cards that end up on the table are available to you, whether they be upright or in the reverse. So the last thing I want to do for you guys is I have recently purchased the Osho Zen Tarot. And I love it because I study a lot of Buddhism, and it's just a passion of mine. And but because I'm still learning the deck, I'm going to use the book if I need to. But I kind of want to take it and use it like other readers use oracle decks, so to speak. So let's see what message can come through for you with regards to the cards that are on the table. Turning in. Remember what I said about that whole you guys are not meditating thing? Yeah. You need to do that. You need to do that for you. Maybe you're being asked, I'm so sorry about my dog. This is life in my household. Maybe he'll make an appearance in a future video. This in the Osho Zen Tarot, this card represents the Four of Swords, which really talks about kind of going into what I call like monk mode, which is like retreating into a solitary place and doing a great deal of self-reflection. You guys are resisting doing this. I can literally feel it reeking from this card, and I want to encourage you to meditate, because I think it won't stop the process of what's happening energetically, planetarily. That's not even a word, but you know what I mean. In the skies, I think you're being faced with the voices of people that have caused a lot of pain and a lot of destructive things, and this lack of personal fulfillment, the kind of fulfillment that only you can give to you, which really comes through the way that you love you. And I think that that's what you're being faced with. You're being faced with those voices. And as a Libra who is, as a Libra who is going through the Uranus transit in her 8th house, I can relate to some degree about the severity and the pressure and just the, well, for lack of a better word, it's like this, a darkness, a dark influence of the things that have been put behind us for a very long time. So my recommendation to you is you need to go into a space where you can be present with you and just begin to see all of the voices that don't actually even belong to you. They don't belong to you. You need to realign with the voice that does. And for as much energy and as much effort as you want to put into your ambition and your actions right now, this is what needs to happen. So I'm going to read you guys this card, and hopefully the message will resonate for you. And I thank you for your patience through this particular reading. Let's see. Tuning in. Oh, I stand corrected. See, this is why you shouldn't assume what you know about a new deck. This is the Four of Cups, not the Four of Swords, in a traditional, in like the Rider-Waite deck. So the Four of Cups. All right, well, I'll just read the interpretation as opposed to my interpretation. Let's see. The woman in this image has a faint smile on her face. In fact, she is just watching the antics of the mind, not judging, not trying to stop them, not identified, just watching as if they were traffic on the road or ripples on the surface of a pond. And the antics of the mind are slightly amusing as it jumps up and down and twists this way and that, trying to get your attention and seduce you in the game. To develop the knack of taking a distance from the mind is one of the greatest blessings. It is what meditation is all about, really. Not just chanting a mantra or repeating an affirmation, but just watching, as if the mind belongs to someone else. You are ready to take this distance now and to watch the show without getting caught up in the drama. Indulge yourself in the simple freedom of turning in whenever you can, and the knack of meditation will grow and deepen you. All right, Gemini, that's what you're encouraged to do. It's funny, though, because it said Four of Water, which represents cups, but I still interpreted the card the same way with the Four of Swords. Is that weird? Is that a coincidence? Either way, the message found its way to you, which I'm very happy to deliver. I hope that you will like and subscribe. Please help contribute to growing my channel. I really want to share this information with you, and I want to connect with you guys as much as fate will allow. So please feel free to comment where you're from in the comments below. I'll leave the information about the decks that I've been using and some information for my other social media, and let's connect, let's thrive together. And I really hope that you have a beautiful and blessed season. It seems like there is so much healing that is coming for you, and that all the work that you're doing is going to reap you some amazing, amazing benefits in the years to come. So I look forward to doing a mid-June reading for you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.